Hi, I'm Marcus with the IndieMusicLab.com. So, towards the end of last year, I realized that I had a little conundrum on my hands when it came to making new music. And during that time, I began to have this particular thought that would play in my mind over and over again. And that thought went something like this: you have so many unfinished song ideas in your computer. Why are you trying to write new songs? And that got me thinking. And then I began to wonder, what would happen if maybe just for a year, if I were to say over the next year, what would happen if I only worked on songs that I have already started in the past? And then the more I thought about it, it started to get me excited. And then I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. I want to see if this works. I want to see how this process unfolds if I just take a break from always trying to write a new song and instead go find the gold that is in the old song ideas that are already in my computer, in those old demos or those little guitar vocal tracks or keyboard vocal tracks that I already have recorded. And so I decided that was going to be my plan for making new music here in 2024. And I decided to start this experiment by going all the way back to an EDM instrumental track that I recorded in 2017, so about 7 years ago. And I made this track right after, this was the first song I made after I purchased the amazing Omnisphere software. It was by far the most expensive piece of software I had ever bought up to that point, and I was having so much fun with it. I couldn't believe how good these sounds were, and I was still in my EDM phase at that time, and I just tried to crank out a really cool sounding EDM instrumental. And that sounded like this.
Form used in ancient times to express yourself with the body.
But now with this experiment in my mind of like, no, I'm gonna go back and try to make the songs work that I have already started, I was like, how can I transform that EDM instrumental and morph it into my current taste, into what I want my music to sound like now, here in 2024. And so over the past few weeks, I've been chipping away at reimagining this song, deleting the tracks or the parts that felt too dancey or too clubby. And I was like, I want to restructure and reframe this into a sound that I am into today in 2024. And it's still in its demo phase. It isn't even in the mixing phase yet, but this is where it's at right now. Listen to the difference from this to now this. Now, I think this experiment is starting to prove something to me that I think many of us musicians, we tend to not think like this. We tend to think that if a song doesn't have the magic, that we should just abandon it. And there's a point, obviously, there's a place for that because we don't want to spend years working on songs that don't resonate with us. But sometimes if you stick with an idea for long enough, you'll find the magic. If you keep hitting it from a bunch of different angles, you'll find a way to make it work. It might not be your best song ever, but this has become a challenge for me to be like, I'm gonna go back into my hard drive from songs from 2016, 2017, 2018, and I'm going to try and force myself to make that into a great song. Now, of course, there are limits to it. If I just spend way too much time on it and I just still don't feel it, then I'll scrap it and I'll move on to the next one. But as you can hear with this song, it is completely transformed. I found a way. I really, really, really like the vibe that I've created and where it's at right now. And so I think this does prove something about the creative process. If you are determined to make something work or to play around with ideas until something works with that song or the idea or the demo that you're working on, if you give it enough time, at some point you will find the gold. You will find the magic. And so, my friend, in closing, here is my challenge to you for 2024. This is what I'm doing, and if you want to join me, I think it could be a great experiment for you as well. And my challenge to you is this: stop writing new songs and instead go back into your hard drive and resurrect the gems that inevitably exist there. You know, I think so often we forget how good just the little nuggets and the ideas that we've had over the years, we forget about them. And then the more distance we are from them, we tend to think like, oh, I wasn't as good back then, I'm way better now. But sometimes when I go back and listen to my songs from over 5 years ago, I'm like, how was I this good? I don't remember myself being this good to make an idea or a melody or a song that had this kind of cool vibe to it. And so if you can take that magic that already exists and then bring it into the present day with your updated skills and your new skill set, it's amazing what can happen. And this also perhaps can just help you relieve some stress of always having to write the new song. So, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts, so let me know in a comment below. Let me know if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I want to know why, okay? Let me know if you do agree with me. Maybe you are the type of person who you tend to abandon song ideas a little too early, which means you're missing out on some really, really good songs that you aren't following through to the end. Whatever your opinion is, I want to hear your thoughts, so be sure to let me know. And then also, before you leave, I want to make sure you have access to my free guide, The 7 Steps to a Killer Indie Song. If you're trying to produce and write and create indie songs like your favorite indie artists, then this is such a great starting point. It's going to walk you through and give you a picture of this is what the process looks like to create, to write, produce, mix a great indie song from start to finish. It's my 7 Steps to a Killer Indie Song guide. I will leave a link in the description below, so be sure to check it out. And once again, let me know if this is a challenge that resonates with you, and I look forward to hearing what your thoughts are and also what your results will be from putting this challenge into action. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.